I'm excited you took the time to sit down, spend a little time with us. And I'll be honest, it's very encouraging for me to be here talking with a police officer in this setting. Having reached 10 years of recovery just earlier this year, there were some times where this wouldn't have been how I would be in the police station.
I'm honored that you are taking the time to come learn about us and me, and look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, what was it that compelled you to want to get into this line of work?
As a young child, I remember always growing up wanting to be, a policeman or a fireman or something like that. Initially, my training was in construction. I went to Buckeye Career Center, studied carpentry.
Down the street?
Yeah, worked as a construction carpenter for a number of years. Met a gentleman back in the early 80s that says, hey, you got to think about getting in law enforcement. He says, I can get you on the Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Department's auxiliary or reserves. So that sounds good. So I signed up for it, and they put me through the academy, which I'm grateful for. Did 7 years down there part-time as a reserve deputy, and an opening came here in New Philadelphia. A friend of mine working here said, hey, you need to come take civil service test. Came up, took the test, did really good on it, and 29 years later, here I am.
20, Chief of Police now.
Chief of Police, been chief a little over 6 years.
And from your perspective, which is as good as anybody's, 10 years ago doing this job to now, what kind of shift have you seen in a decade?
10 years ago doing this job, I was actually head of the Detectives Bureau. And so we did a lot of crime investigation, a lot of child abuse cases I worked on. Very busy department. What we've really have seen within the last 10 years is the explosion of drugs in our community. Like any other city in America, drugs are just taking over, and we've seen it go from cocaine to heroin to meth and back, and just kind of ebb and flows on what the drug of the day is. But what we're seeing with this is how it is destroying families that are involved in this.
Sure.
And there's a social cost to this. Probably 3/4 of the crimes or investigations that we do are drug related one way or the other. We are at our local Walmart multiple times a day for shopliftings. We are at Discount Drug Mart. We are at Kohl's department store. We are any place that sells something, retail stores. There's always somebody there trying to steal something, shoplift, so that they can get their next dose of drugs.
It's a ripple effect. It can't not affect families, society, children. It affects so many different things.
I've seen in the 10 years, and I'm still amazed, the number of grandparents raising their grandkids.
I've heard more and more.
Because mom and or dad are either abusing drugs, can't take care of the kids. Children's Services have come in and have taken steps to, instead of putting them in foster care, most grandparents are going to say, no, we'll take the kids. We don't want them in foster care. We'll raise them, we'll take care of them. But somewhere along the line, we're going to lose an entire generation of kids being raised by their parents.
Generally speaking, police officers can get a bad rap these days.
I believe so, yes.
I think that, I know police officers right here in the city, more than one. It's good people that are working really hard, doing a good job, responding. For somebody that's on the other side, a situation has come up, they don't know what to do, maybe it's drug related, maybe it's something in the house, fill in the blank. What would your encouragement be to them to call you guys first and not last?
I always tell people, I said, please call us. You're not bothering us. We are a full-time police department. There are always at least 3 police officers on the road, out in a cruiser driving around, along with our own dispatchers. We would much rather come to a call and find out that maybe it wasn't anything real important, or that it was a nothing call, than not to get that call till 3 or 4 hours thinking, I seen that happen, and I guess I just didn't want to bother you. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and there's somebody walking down the sidewalk that you think is strange, please call us. We'll come out and check it. We'll drive by. We'll determine if we need to stop and talk to this person or figure out who he is. If nothing else, if that person was going to do something no good, he's going to have second thoughts about doing it, because now there's a police presence in that neighborhood, so he may go someplace else. One of the things that I think there's some concern about when people call us that we're going to tell, or if we catch the bad guy, that we're going to tell that person that so-and-so is the one who called and ratted you out or snitched on you or whatever the word you want to use. We try to keep our complainants, our people that call us, anonymous as much as we can. Depending on what you see though, you may, as a citizen of New Philly, may be asked to be involved. You may be the only person that can testify or give us a written statement about what happened. By us showing up, if I show up and there's a window broken out and there's a guy walking away a block away, I can't necessarily say that he broke that window.
Sure.
But if while you're on the phone talking to my dispatcher, say, hey, I just seen the guy in a gray hoodie break that window and now he's a half a block, wait, your cruiser just drove by him, that's him there. You may have to tell somebody that. If not, we can't maybe prosecute that type of a case.
So this community here obviously has neighboring communities that border and just blend into each other.
That's correct. We share a common border with the city of Dover to the north of us. Have a great working relationship with the Dover Police Department, along with every agency in the county, actually.
That's, I feel like, extremely important. How is it those relationships are strengthened, maintained, and how beneficial is it for those working relationships to be open line of communication?
Well, they maintain them because I've got a good group of guys and gals that work on my department, along with Dover Sheriff's Department, the State Patrol, the 2 or 3 main agencies that we work with, just because we're all located here in the general area of New Philly. They get along together. They occasionally eat breakfast or lunch or dinner together at different times. We are always over to Dover assisting them, vice versa. The State Patrol, which is located here in the city, anytime I need something from them, some assistance or some technical aspect, they are only a phone call away. We'll do whatever they can do to help us. The Sheriff's Department, again, located in the city. It benefits us, benefits the citizens of New Philly, because there's always a police presence. It's just not the New Philly police that are answering calls or being seen in the area. Anytime you're driving through New Philly with the courthouse over here, the right, municipal court kind of behind us, there's always law enforcement agencies that are going to or from court, and so there's always that police presence. And with probation officers and parole officers, this is a very safe area of town to be in.
This job you are exposed to a lot.
Yes.
It would be easy to be discouraged, get jaded, just because of the stuff you're seeing constantly, the calls you're responding to. It's the job.
It is, and we see a lot. We see things that most people never see.
Sure.
They may only see it on TV or some shows that are depicting something. But mental health for my officers is very important, because we do see stuff, and we don't want to take the things that we see home and it would affect our personal lives. I don't want to share some bloody scene that I happen to be at with my wife, my kids. I know my other officers don't want to do that either. So generally what happens is the officers will talk about that amongst themselves. And the city of New Philadelphia has a great employee assistance program that completely anonymous, that all they have to do is pick up a phone. If they need to talk to somebody, they can make an appointment. It's all taken care of. They can talk to anybody they would need to, whether it's a mental health professional, a substance abuse professional. Unfortunately, in our line of work, there's times where, because of the things that we see, our police officers tend to overdrink at times, and that can become a problem. And we don't want it to get to a problem where it's affecting their job, affecting the community. So we would always encourage them to reach out and seek the help that they can get that's available to them. I mean, it's there to use, so they might as well use it. It does me no good having an officer that can't do his job, showing up to work potentially under the influence of something. It's not fair to the city. It's not fair to the citizens. It's not fair to anybody that comes to this area. And at the end of the day, I look, our departments, we spend a lot of time, we spend more time with each other than we do with our families at times. It seems that way. I want to make sure my guys are well taken care of. I want to make sure they're healthy. I want to make sure they're mentally healthy, physically healthy. So we have those programs that are available to them to keep them that way.
So, I'm curious to know if you know as well that New Philadelphia, Ohio is safer than 73% of cities in the United States nationally.
I've not heard that statistic, but that doesn't surprise me. I've seen rankings where we've been in the top 5, top 10 of safest cities in the state of Ohio. But I think that's something to be proud of. I think that's something to be proud of not only for my department, the city administration, which allows me to do what I can do. Plus, it's also the citizens of the city that, they're the ones that are helping us. We can't do this alone. We need their help to do this job. As we were speaking earlier, I need them to call us and help us. Sure. They need to be our eyes and ears to a lot of these things.
What is your definition of healthy community here in the area?
Well, I think certainly as a healthy community is that everybody is getting along, that people feel safe. People feel safe to go out of the house and not worry that something's going to happen to them, that they're not going to get mugged, robbed, anything like that. So those are all very important things that are going on. But I think it just in general, mentally wise, that if you feel good about your city, you're going to take care of your city, and things are going to go, I would think, hopefully, as planned.
Having a vision moving forward. So sure, you alluded to, and it's everywhere in America, the drug problems that are taking place, the things, but New Philadelphia is obviously doing a really good job to keep its city in a really healthy place. What, in the next 5 to 10 years, if this city could look how you wanted it to look, how would it look in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years, if I could come into work and us not have somebody in jail for some type of a substance abuse related crime or incident, I think we're heading in the right direction, because at the end of the day, it all rolls back to the drugs, the substance abuses that are affecting our community. Again, I'm not sure what the magic wand is to fix that problem, but I think we're heading in the right direction. I think we have resources. I think, we haven't won the war. Not sure we're going to win the war, but every day we win a battle, we're getting closer.
So if there's something you would want the citizens to know, the people of this area, county, about you and your department, what would that be?
Well, I think what they need to know, and they don't always realize, at the end of the day, we work for them. They're taxpayers, they're citizens. We work for the citizens of the city of New Philadelphia. We work for the people that come and visit our city. We want people coming here. I'd like them to know that, I've got a great group of people that work for me. We're here to answer questions. Anytime you want to know what we do, why we do it, it's confusing to the lay person, but there's a reason we do things. And how we do things. And a lot of it is for safety. A lot of it is officer safety. A lot of it is, safety of the general public. But I certainly want to say, I tell my guys, I always got an open door. My door is always open in my office. Anytime they want to stop, talk to me, they're encouraged to do so, give me recommendations. But that goes for the public too. I want the public to call me. I want the public to send me an email. I want the public to stop by, make an appointment, stop in and see us, talk to the officers. We'll give anybody a tour of our department as long as there's nobody in the jail area. We'll go back in the jail area. We have people bring their kids in all the time. I want the people to realize we are very approachable, and like them, at the end of the day, we got to go home to our families, and that's what we want to do. We're not out there to try and hunt for people with that gotcha moment, but we have a job to do, and part of our job is to keep this community safe. It may ruffle feathers at times by the way we do things, but we're trying to obtain a certain objective, and I think we do a pretty good job of doing that. I certainly enjoy When I am out of the car, I am enjoying this. I love it going to a restaurant or someplace public and somebody coming up, hey, you guys do a great job, thanks for your service, or introducing me to their kids. We still have parents that say, if you're not good, he's going to take you to jail. We always try to correct that. No, we're not going to take anybody to jail. We're your friends. You're the one. We are who you want to look for if something happens. Yeah. If you can't find your mom or dad, look for the police, look for the firemen. We're here to help you. But there is a segment of population that's had bad experience with police, and they want to make sure everybody knows that, and they want to make sure their kids know that, and so they put that fear into their kids that all the police are bad, when legitimately mom or dad went to jail for a particular reason. Unfortunately, we go to a lot of domestic violence cases. We're not going to please everybody. We get there, somebody's probably going to go to jail. The offender is going to go to jail. We're going to try to make sure the family's safe. Last thing we want to do is drag a mother or a father out of the house in front of their kids. So we try to be as sensitive as we can doing this, to the point though that we got to keep everybody safe. Not only do we have to keep ourselves safe, we have to keep the other family members safe. So we get a kind of a bum rap at times by doing things like this. I get jokingly, our friends at the fire department, I say, hey, you guys show up and everybody loves the firemen.
You're the heroes.
Yeah, we show up, half the people love us, half the people hate us. I said, that's not a good record, but we do what we do, and we try the best we can with what we have, and I think we're doing a great job at it.
I think so too. I would say that you got a good heart, and I appreciate the service you're providing for this city and spending some time with us.
Oh, absolutely. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
You're welcome.